Yo, what's shaking? What's going on? You already know when the go, my creators. Oh my God, it felt so good to say that. It has been a long time since I've been potting. A lot of things has happened since that time frame, right? We could do some story mode before I introduce our guest that's here. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, man. Oh man, take care of your health. When I tell you take care of your health, it is very important to take care of your health. I was going through some major things, even to where like, yo, I couldn't even move. I didn't even do anything creatively. Thank God I came back. Knock on wood. Indeed. We're here at Gotham Podcast Studios. Shout out to Gotham Podcast Studios, the family that's held me down and held down this platform, Cuts, Culture, Urban Technology, Sports for a long time. We are in episode 143. You know what I'm saying? We're episode 143. Just overall, I'm just blessed and happy to be here. Nonetheless, I am here. Let me tell you something. Reading this man's information bio is insanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? No, when you look at the shirt. Yeah. Raucous. Listen, when you got a Raucous Records shirt, it's not just because you made it and you custom made it. You earned this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? You earned this. You earned this stamp of approval.
It communicates something.
Yeah, that you're a lethal MC. If you went through the Lyricist Lounge Club Series tour, you were definitely a lethal MC. Nonetheless, we got the homie, the God. Shout out to my on this alley-oop. Jesus, Mahalia Jackson Christ. We got UnLearn The World in the motherfucking building.
Yes,
what's going
indeed.
on, son?
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated for being here. Thank you for having me.
Nah, of course, man. Yo, wow. I mean, yo, let's go to the first question. Let's go right to it.
Let's get into it.
Yo, take us into, like, you just, like, going through that tour, like take us into, walk us into that journey, son.
So it was like the first time I was actually like trying to legit get on, right? Like, so we're talking, this is like 2002, 2003.
Oh, cool. Prime years.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of golden era. 50 is about to pop off.
Right.
Raucous Records is rocking. Underground hip hop is rocking. Right? It's a good cultural
Quality,
time.
Black Star, Common,
Pheromone, Company Flow.
Somewhat still Eminem until he really went superstar status.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who else? I had a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, you know, me and my peoples from high school, we was out in Detroit. We got somebody to invest in my music for the first time. So this is the first time ever that like I'm actually trying to pursue my rap career in the way that I think I should. So by virtue of my manager, shout out Jose Lopez. He was my manager.
Jose Lopez was good. Peace and blessings for what you did for him.
Yeah, he was like my best friend. He's my brother's best friend in the Heights from where I'm from, Washington Heights.
Oh, shout out to that. Yeah. Okay.
So I kind of followed their lead because they interned at Rockefeller. They interned at a bunch of things. So he worked his way up the ranks, started doing radio at Rockefeller, started doing radio at Murder Inc. So he's walking me in the door to all these things. And then, but because of the type of MC I am, I'm not Murder Inc. material. I'm not doing the grimy melodic stuff. I'm not doing any of the crime, sell dope raps. I'm just doing lyricism. So he finds my man, Tamir. I forget his last name. Shout out to Tamir. But he puts me in league with Danny Castro, Anthony Marshall, Lyricist Lounge. For y'all who don't know Lyricist Lounge, do your Googles. You know what I'm saying? And I hate being the old dude who has to say do your Googles, but you should know what they contributed to hip hop in general. They broke acts like Biggie Smalls. They broke acts like everybody we just talked about on Ruckus was doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? All Lyrical. Shout out All Lyrical AL. Like these are like the dudes. And for me, I'm an underground MC, so these are like my heroes more so than anybody in the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? So we get the look to go on this tour. I think I opened up at SOB's, which is crazy because I'm about to do a show at Stove God Cooks at SOB's on Wednesday. And I haven't done a show there since this show I'm about to tell you about right now. So I'm opening up for Boot Camp Clique, the whole squad. So we talking about Rock, rest in peace Sean Price, like the whole BDI MC, all of them. And so I do what I do. Right. And we killed it. It was a memorable night. Fucking Raz-Kaz was there, blowing smoke in my face. I got a joke with him about it that last time I saw him. Keith Murray jumped off stage that night. Like, hip hop is in the building.
Wait a minute, is that in similar to? No, that can't be similar of the story that that was told about on Math's podcast?
Probably not. No.
It's
a completely
different.
obscure night.
But you know of the story I'm talking about.
Which one we talking
about? I think something happened with. If I want to be very correct here, something happened with Maria Davis. Because I know Maria Davis' son. I know Maria Davis' son was on that episode of the show.
Oh, okay,
and he co-signed about what happened and what Maria Davis did allegedly what she did. But I was just wanting to know if that in hindsight
I don't think it was related.
Same, but
nonetheless, it's SOB's classic venue.
Right.
We in there and I do my thing. And because of that one particular experience, they put me on the rest of the tour. So we're going to the Midwest. We're going through all of these different states. This is my first time ever touring.
Right.
I was touring with Killer Mike. Before Killer Mike was Killer Mike now. Dead Prez.
I'm glad you mentioned that, sir.
Yeah, Dead Prez was on that tour. Big Daddy Kane, rest in peace, Pumpkinhead from Brooklyn Skiing Team.
Art Design alum. This is what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he went to Art Design.
You know, this is the people I'm rocking with. I'm learning, I'm absorbing, I'm doing all the things, and it was an amazing experience. You know what I'm saying? It was me and my team literally renting a car, driving out from town to town. I've never done this before, like selling hand-to-hand CDs, like barely getting enough money to have gas to come home, like. It was the dream.
It's the grind.
Yeah, it was the grind.
It's the grind.
So that's what I come from. Like that's ultimately what I come from, and it's real lyricism, and it's like putting bars together and wanting to be admired by your peers and people who you admire, and you know what I'm saying. Shout out people like Super Nat and other people like that who, you know what I mean. Like it was amazing time in New York City for lyricism, and I'm just happy to be part of that. And that was my first kind of foray into the music industry, and then from there, like things went south. Like it was just like really bad. You owe rent money and like the music industry chews you up and spits you out. Then I moved out to the West Coast, and then from there I was just trying to do things on the West Coast. But that was my first foray into like touring with the major MC platform and getting those kind of cosigns and visibility. But you know, we were super young and just bullshitting our lives away and spending money on like strippers and wild stuff that we shouldn't have really just messing up the budget, you know what I'm saying? So like if there's one thing any artist should know is that you need funding for this to take it to the next level, at least get an investor at a certain point, you know what I mean? And we just weren't ready for that, but lesson learned, like we here.
No, that's what's up, man. And also, to my credit, I want you to definitely take heed of what he's expressing to you about, you know what I'm saying? I feel there's a caveat in today's era of thinking that independent means, okay, hey, I did it from the mud and I don't want to get help from nobody, which is dumb in a way.
Right.
It's dumb in a way because if you really want to keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
Even with the major labels, and labels I'm not getting at you, but I'm just putting it in a better hindsight and a better understanding that it's pretty much an extended luxurious loan.
Yeah.
So
100%,
in hindsight, right, if you wanted to, get an LLC, clean up your credit thereof, and take out a business loan.
Yeah, it took me 30 years to learn that.
No, I'm just saying, no, right.
But that's exactly what it is. Make sure your credit good. Make sure you have a business strategy. I mean, by the end of that whole tour, I learned how to make a business plan because when money was drying up, me and my people was just trying to get it, and we like, hey, I'm literally 21 years old putting together like a 20-page business plan. I don't know how effective it was because we ain't got no money, but nonetheless, it made me understand business. It made me understand like this as a rapper. Right. This is a business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there's levels
That's
to
what
it.
I'm talking about.
You start, literally from the mud. But I think especially now in today's climate, artists can spread themselves too thin. You know what I'm saying? You on Canva doing the graphic design, or you on ChatGPT trying to do the artwork for your album. You trying to do the booking. You trying to do the touring. You trying to go in the studio. You still trying to get money. You may be working a day job that's not even in proximity to what you want to do, which is the one thing that I would advise anybody. You want to be in the music business, you want to be a rapper, get a job in the music industry. Right. Or get a job that's similar, either engineer, something in proximity to it so that you don't have to, like I always say, put on the Clark Kent glasses, be at a corporate job or someplace where you can't be your true self. And then from there, you have to like figure out how you're going to take money that should be going to rent in your bills to go to the studio, to do other things, to invest in other, so having a job in proximity to the music industry really helps getting that level of capital. But at first, it's really about the music, right? For me as a kid coming up in Washington Heights, it was always about the music. The business part of it, You just were doing things for the look. And I think that works to the detriment of artists nowadays because we are selling our rights away for the sake of the look. Right. The music industry will encourage the artist to follow the look as opposed to the money. And it's like, no, let's try to work on garnering a fan base, building a community around that fan base, and then transitioning to monetizing that fan base because they buy into you. We're no longer selling music, we're selling lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? It's an algorithm-based world, so if you have ideas, your ideas are your commodity. It's the most precious thing that you have because people will identify with your ideas and then in turn identify with you and your story. You know what I mean? So.
No, that's what's up. All right, let's segue real quick because you keep mentioning about the heights. Take us into the allure of Audubon. No, I'm being serious. No, I'm being so serious. No, I'm being serious because
Audubon or Dyckman? Which one we talking about?
Well, I could go in about Dyckman because I used to live in Dyckman. I lived right there by Sherman between 204 and Academy. So I literally was like right there in the crux of the Dyckman tournament. So we could go there. But we need to talk about Audubon. Okay. I think Audubon. Is there a documentary on Audubon? I think
there should be. There needs
son.
to be like there were so many dope ball players and people who like was doing shit up there. My brothers was ball players, so I pretty much anybody you could talk about they probably played with at some point in the late 90s, early 2000s, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a magical place. It was a magical place for me to grow up. And for me to come up, and it was just,
magical.
There's an energy. There was just a certain energy. You know what I'm saying? You're in close proximity to everything. You a Manhattan kid, or you from Uptown, and it was it molded me in so many ways. And when I finally went out west, I was ready for anything, like legitimately anything, street shit, corporate shit, like anything. I was ready to hustle. And when you in other spaces and like you don't recognize how fast New York moves until you go somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
And then you see like I used to tell people like, yo, living outside of New York was like witness relocation because it was super slower. Mm-hmm. It didn't have the same type of energy, and I actually had to like acquiesce to that and slow myself down because it was starting to intimidate a lot of people. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Washington Heights, Audubon, like it was magical. It was magical.
Nah, that's what's up, man. All right, let's get, and now we're back at it. Let's try to segue. I just want to hear what you had to say about that. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with the latest album, the God That Sins.
Yes.
Right? Definitely. I did my best to try to listen to it. I apologize with the way that everything was happening. We're gonna talk about that as well.
No problem.
I'm gonna ask you. I want your dopest transparency right now.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Because I read that it was heavily nominated and was heavily acclimated.
Critical acclaim. Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm assuming that's this year or around this year thereof.
Yeah, I dropped it at the top.
Do you feel it could have trumped or beat Killer Mike's Michael?
I think
No.
We're gonna go there. 100%.
Let's go there.
We're gonna be 100% because
there.
Killer Mike, like, I think it was at par. I'm a different artist, right? So what you're listening to for me is different than what you listen to a Killer Mike for. We're very similar in that we two black dudes that speak about socially conscious shit, right?
Right.
There's that.
Right.
But I'm from Uptown New York. I know about Dominicans. I know about, you know what I'm saying, God Body. I know about, like, there's a different experience altogether, but I think sonically, subject matter wise, it was at par. And it came out this year as opposed to last year, and he won the Grammy for it last year. He dropped earlier year.
Yeah.
And Grammys have a cutoff.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, quote me if I'm wrong, my creators or somebody. Yeah. I believe Grammys they count the album from, if I'm not mistaken, February up until fourth quarter, November, December.
Something that I remember from my previous album called Crowns. I remember it was like September or August, and I was submitting records from that album for consideration for these upcoming Grammys. Right. I was in like the second level running, but then it didn't get nominated. But Killer Mike's Michael, easily on album of the year for 2023. My album hit streaming 2024. Okay. Right? January 2024, which is technically like the industry is not even like in the building anymore. Right? Which was a great time for me as an independent artist to drop because there's nobody dropping. Mm-hmm. And people are looking for real hip hop still. Like they're looking like, so I dropped this album and I wasn't even prepared for the level of response I was going to get. I didn't even know. Like I had my kind of press rollout in mind, but a lot of things just happened organically, especially in the UK and in Europe. They received it in a way that I didn't even expect. checked. So I'm waking up in the morning and I'm looking at the mentions and I'm seeing, all these like high ratings for the album. People are following me out of nowhere. The streams is going crazy. And I'm like, yo, this caught a wave. And now I got to figure out like almost reactively how to respond to that. And then people are already talking about like, yo, this is album of the year. Like it's only January and Homeboy drops album of the year. I never heard of this guy before. Like it was, so like now I'm like, okay, that's going to be that's what we're going to carry as a narrative for the rest of the year. This is an album of the year contender by an independent underground hip hop artist who self-funds his own stuff. Right? Oh, and has all these features on it. So we talking Benny the Butcher, we talking Ghostface Killer, Royce the 5'9".
Yeah, right.
A posthumous verse from Sean Price.
Right.
Right? And then I got the homies on, but like just that alone is gonna give you pause to like, oh, who is this dude? Let me listen. And then you hear how it sounds. And then I think that's what turned the corner for a lot of people is like, this sounds like it needs to sound for this person who I may not be all the way familiar with to have these kind of level artists on his album. You know what I mean? So and these are people I built relationships with. I built relationships with their team. So when I wanted to do this album, I had to call in the favors. I had to get the budget together. But I knew that once people saw just the track list alone, that was going to attract people to. And then sure enough, by February, we're already charting on iTunes. It's the first album that I ever had that charted on iTunes. So my record, Uncanny Behavior, with Ghostface Killer charted. My song, God's Favorite, with Royce the 5'9" and Sean Price charted in the UK. And then I did a tour with Jizza from Wu-Tang in the UK. And then that put me on my way.
So I'm going to tell you this right now. So I do owe you an apology.
No worries.
No.
Okay, why do you owe me an apology?
I owe you an apology because just recently I dropped an article. Shout out to DigiWax. I just dropped my article on who I felt were the best independent hip hop artists currently in New York, of New York. Just like of New York. And the background to that was, I don't know if you know the artist Exile. There's an artist Exile from Queens.
Okay.
Right. So he put on his page about, when it was all about the big three situation.
Yeah. So
he puts on his page who he felt was the big three. Mm-hmm. Right? So he goes, who's the independent big three? So me being me who I am, and media and shit like that, me being, the social media hip hop, the neighborhood Ruger spray and shit, the stir potter, you know what I'm saying? I just put the eye emojis on it.
Okay.
I didn't say shit. So here comes all the comments. Yo, Reemo, you got to say something. What do you say? Who are you choosing? So then I start calling a couple of my colleagues. So shout out to Demi D, Slop Shotya, my man Rat Wojnarowski, and a media homegirl of mine, Baby Flight from Long Island.
Okay.
So I start asking them, like, hey, who's your top fives? Or whatever. I need to add this list. I'm going to do this major list. I'm doing this article.
Right.
They're like, Reemo, you really going to do this? I'm like, yeah, I'm really going to do this fucking article. You know what I'm saying? So I really was like thinking, and also too, the thing was, it was giving my ode to the people that I covered.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this is my first time knowing you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Good. And not saying that that you weren't in my tune or you are, I didn't check for you. It's that it's so many in New York alone. In New York alone, there's like, if you have to mathematically think, minimum wise, in the whole state itself, minimum wise, it's about like 3,000 artists.
Yeah, easily.
New York City alone,
we're the mecca of this shit. So we probably have more rappers per capita than anybody. Right. New York rap, like that. We started this shit.
Right.
And I gotta remind people, because I teach hip hop for a living, like we started this shit. Right? It came from the Bronx. It went worldwide. The people who we saw in ciphers in Washington Square Park or selling mixtapes toured the world and changed the world.
Right.
It's easily a lot of artists in the running for just being considered. And I'm not of the artist that I don't have a sense of entitlement, right? Any album I drop is another opportunity to reintroduce myself to people who may never ever have heard
No.
You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I still got fans from 20 years ago. So I'm in this really cool space of I've garnered a fan base and developed a relationship with my fans, and I have an opportunity to bring my message and my brand to more people. So when those kind of conversations come about, big three, top 10, top 5, underground, above the ground, whatever the case is, I never take offense.
Right.
In certain instances, there was this dude, because I'm based out in the Bay Area now. There was a dude, I'm not gonna call him out or anything, but he was like, I'm the best rapper in Oakland, and I'm looking at like you with the eyes like, I don't, but I
better
think
than Eve 40.
right. or any of the rap, like even underground.
That,
rap,
even my young guard that I'm fucking with, fucking LaRussell.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
come
Shout
on.
out to Russell. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
Come on.
really? But he's from Vallejo, and if you don't know the Bay, it's kind of like boroughs, whereas like Vallejo's one thing, Oakland's one thing, San Fran's another. But nonetheless, like why? But you know, also people are provocative. They want to insert themselves in those conversations, and that's what they're getting is, you know. So I try to let the music speak for itself, but every now and again, if I feel a way, I'll turn it up and be like, yo, people need to take a look at what I'm doing and compare it to whatever else is going on.
Right. Nah, that's what's up. All right, so let's really get in.
So apology accepted.
No, but definitely for sure. I'm definitely going to do it. There's going to be a fourth quarter. I'm gonna look back. So there might be some people get crossed the fuck off. Yeah, that's a fact. There might be some people get crossed the fuck off.
It's still on top of the 2024. So
right. And also too, I just want people to understand. Even if I didn't put you on the list, I'm not dumb enough to go, yo, you're trash. It's not about that. I've never been that type of media person. Yeah. My thing is, like I said, is give an ode to the artists that I covered, and then also too, it's more so like because I'm moving on to another level. So I'm aiming for the bigger figures like yourself. I just had the Puma interview not too long ago.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just had also with Reem TV, my homegirl Shawnee Dixon. If you know Shawnee Dixon, celebrity chef. She has her restaurants top 50 in New York. So that's the level where I'm at.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's levels to the level up. I have that in the song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and platforms like yours, artists like myself, it's a challenge for us to dream bigger and get to where we want to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, it's part of the grind. So anytime I hear like, it makes me still hungry. Right. Because I want to be in those bigger conversations.
No.
The 15-year-old version of me still wants to be in what we call the rap book. Like, I want to be known as one of those dudes.
Right.
So anytime I put out an album, anytime I put out a record, I'm going to challenge myself to get there.
Yeah, I mean, even off Wax, please feel, I'm get my information.
I got you.
Get my information.
It's good.
And
we'll figure it out.
Send me everything. You can flood the email. Shout out to my team. Elizabeth, she handles everything well with the email on the email blast. We'll definitely make sure you're on the email blast. You catch up with everything for sure. But no, let's get to it. Mm-hmm. Yo, listen, it's been epic with hip hop. Who say you? What's your take on Kendrick and Drake battle?
The culture wins. Nah.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
So, I mean, let's really unpack this.
Yes, please.
There's so many angles we can reach. So, first and foremost, Drake versus Kendrick, right? Subliminal shots are fired for years. Like, this is a decade in the making. It's also important to recognize that we are in a completely different media climate than hip-hop culture has ever been in for this kind of beef to take place. The last time we had energy like this, I would argue, on the smaller scale, Beanie and Jada. On the larger scale, Tupac and Biggie. In terms of media coverage and the culture waiting for what's going on, right? Because we get jabs, everybody's passive aggressive, nobody want to stand on business.
Right.
And Kendrick is a sleeping giant.
Thank you.
No one saw this Like That record coming, and it's a bop, and he's bringing smoke. So now we looking at the boy like, yo, what you gonna do?
That bar he said when he got at Drake about always going to Atlanta when you're low. The fucking yo, you're not a colleague. You're not a carnivore.
Colonizer.
So what?
In terms of my personal preference, like I'm a fan of both of them. Like a hardcore fan of Drake. I'm a hardcore fan of Kendrick.
Right.
I identify with both of them in different ways for different reasons. I go to LA a lot, so I know what it is to be in LA and hear a Kendrick record and see what the energy is looking like.
Right.
I'm in the Bay and I see what the energy is when Kendrick has a bop or anybody from the Bay has a hit record. I see what the energy is, which is not something that translates to the East Coast. So y'all, up here.
No, I know. I checks in.
Yeah.
No, I checks in.
I'm sure, but for the language.
Russell and Symbol, definitely I checks in.
Russell, Simba, like it's there's spitters.
Still some E40.
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. Niners life, by the way. That's right, damn it. Niners life.
So I'm a fan of them both. So I'm with anticipation, like the Michael Jackson gift with the popcorn. I'm looking at both of them, right? And then I have to tip my hat more towards Kendrick because I identify more with Kendrick in terms of the substance of the lyrics.
All right, I'm indifferent to you. I'm not gonna, and I'm a realistic.
Let's have the debate.
No, and I'm a realistic Kendrick stan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it fucked up.
Yeah.
My scorecard right now, I still have edge on Drake, and here's the reason why I have edge on Drake.
Yeah.
From the levels of from Family Matters to fucking Heart in the Six. Holy that Malaysia line. That Malaysia line, but when he said something about Malaysia, Bobby and Whitney, Whitney better chill for I'll be too much Bobby.
It's
whoa.
It's so many things to unpack,
and
right?
Then right. So then the comeback, the rebuttal would be of Kendrick's joint. Besides the colleague and your colonizer, then it was what was the other shit?
He said, "Fuck a rap battle. The battle with yourself, line?
Yeah, right.
You losing a lifelong battle with yourself.
Yeah,
I'm leaving. What are we talking about? So,
yeah,
but let's break it down. So we know Drake to be a hit maker, and we know he has a formula, right? And he stayed on formula. Whereas Kendrick, he's a wild card. He is not only dissing you, he's making art. He started a diss track with like a spoken word piece. My nigga, like, what are we talking about? Like,
he used Al Green's beat.
He got Alchemist to produce like the producers that he had for these Alchemist, Mustard, like he had top tier producers. Taylor Swift's producers.
He's wilding.
He's being super
and he did that on purpose
intentional.
at the Taylor Swift shit because Drake kept mentioning about Taylor Swift.
He's being super intentional with every aspect of the art,
Christ.
And you gotta respect that. Like you can uncover so many layers of what he is doing. Mm-hmm. That it's art. Even if he wasn't dissing Drake, it would still stand alone as great records. Now, with that said, to your point, Drake is feeding him fake information.
Right.
I don't know how much you can give props to diss records that are exposing fake information.
Right.
Right? And we all need receipts on both ends, but that was where, like, when we heard the most recent Drake retort, it was like, oh, okay, that kind of undermines the last two records from Kendrick.
No, but I'm going to say something right now. One of my colleagues told me a major bigwig person from the West is going shots off crazy off his Instagram, and he's calling he allegedly.
Oh, you talking about Wack 100?
Okay. So I don't know. I want to wait until because I did a response video to it, and I'm gonna post it and. And here's the thing with Wack, right? I know people feel Wack likes to he culture vulture or whatever, but I'll say the other shit too. One thing for certain, two things for sure. Mm-hmm. Wack, when he starts speaking, that shit's not really cap. Let's keep it a buck. That shit's not really cap.
Right.
So I say this to say this. If the sources follow up, I'm gonna wait. Mm-hmm. If the sources follow up based off of what Wack is saying, dog, I hate to say it, kiss it goodbye. Kendrick got that.
Well, see, it's bigger than. What we're talking about is something bigger than music. So there's a lot of different things at play. Number one, culturally, right? We're dealing with the biggest artist in the music industry, or at least one of them, right? In Drake. And he represents us as a culture, but he also represents the rap music industry part of what this culture is.
Right.
Where I think Kendrick is more aligned with the culture
and the people.
Right? Because he represents us, domestically as Americans, Black Americans particularly, right? And he carries that legacy. Like, they literally had him in the House of Blues and gave him, you are now the king you are holding down the West Coast for the entire culture, right? I don't think Drake has had those moments. He gets the Lil Wayne co-sign.
No, I think he got it from Canada. I know.
Canada, with respect to hip hop, like, what are we talking? Like, we got Cardinal Official, we got a bunch of them who spit up there, but we're not going to Canada for cultural approval.
Okay.
Right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not. So there's that dynamic as well. It's like he's us. Kendrick is us, where this dude is witty and spits and he can write hits, but he's also a product of the music industry and a lot of the people who are at stake, like whether they're street level, industry, like Lucian Grange, like all these different pockets are at play and people are at play. So I just think that he embodies or represents this commercial aspect of hip hop that a lot of people for a lot of years have detested.
Right.
Old heads particularly, right? Like,
and that's what. And let's go to this next one. Let's go to this next one right here. And I have a big thing about this too. So with the purist, right? Hip hop purist, right? All right. Here's my catch-22 with them. I get it where you're coming from. Yes, it should always be about the elements of hip hop, right? It should always be about the elements of hip hop. Yes, it has lost its way over the years. It wavered. It changed around because technology and everything of that magnitude. Right. But when it comes to this here in 2024 and the year prior with the 50th year of hip hop, you kept preaching and kept saying we have to find a way to attain the youth. Yep. Right? Okay. Here we have two of the most pivotal, polarizing figures battling. Why are we angry at them for the way they did it? Like, so my question to you is, why do purists feel that whatever they say has to be the land of law in this culture of fucking hip hop? Explain.
I mean, I'm a purist to an extent, or I'm a recovering purist.
I like
that's
that.
a better way to put that.
I like that. Please,
you know what I'm saying?
Please break that down.
A recovering purist in that I'm over 40, number one. And number two,
same AARP.
I come from the era that they harken back to. Right? So when we talking about people over 45, maybe even people close to 50, they was outside during the era of Biggie, Tupac, like they was outside for that. And that's what they retain. And that has nothing to do with our new way of absorbing media or entertainment. Right? Back then they were selling music, and like I said, now we're selling a lifestyle. We're selling something more than just music.
Yeah, merch.
So our approaches have to be multifaceted, right? From the covers of your projects to the songs itself, there has to be all these different talking points to unpack so that it can stay in the news cycle for as long as it is, right? So this is why both of these artists are being super intentional about their artwork, the visuals, I don't think rappers back in the days were thinking about all of that, right? Most of the disses that we were listening to were on mixtapes, and they were just records. Right. They weren't, and more particularly, we didn't have the immediate response. Right, this is in real time.
We didn't have 2-for-1 sales.
Right.
Kendrick gave matter of fact, not even a 2-for-1 sale. Let me correct myself. Kendrick did a 3-for-2 sale.
Exactly. So this back and forth. We've never seen this. We had to wait 9 months for an ether after Takeover. We had to wait several months, or at least for the next Clue tape to drop to get the Jada verse or the Beanie Siegel verse or whatever the case is. Like, that was a mixtape thing, and it took time. Where now it's being done in real time, right? Like, Drake is dropping something, and 20 minutes later, Kendrick is dropping something, and then maybe the next day. This happened all in like the last 72 hours, right? They were talking about it on SNL, right? Like, this is, so the media absorption of what is going on in our culture requires all these different moving parts that I think people of an older generation just don't recognize and they can't process.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
They just don't know how, like, this is.
And I'm like, yo, and even me, I felt inclined to let be known of my background. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm like, besides being born in Harlem and raised in Laurelton, Queens, nigga, Mikey Destruction was my neighbor. So I was, you know what I'm saying? I got somebody who tried to come at LL Cool J's Koofy and LL's prom.
Exactly.
LL's prom. Tried to come in his Koofy and LL prom with Mikey D and the LA Posse. Right. Who my brother, by the way, was part of that crew. Right. So it's like, when niggas try to come at me and tell me this bullshit, or try to come at me this convoluted fuckery, and I'm like, yo, dog, just because I don't say it, I don't wear it on my chest, and I don't have the unk sign that says that shit, and I hold my arm like this, whatever, motherfucker, you don't know my history. Right. So when you start coming to me about shit, and I shock your world, or I have you sit in a chair, and I tell you what I know, or what I understand, it's like, motherfucker, no, man. And plus, I'm in education, so it's like, I'm in tune with what the youth be talking about.
But we're in tune with the culture. This is youth-driven culture. So just because this doesn't, it doesn't resemble what you grew up with in your era of when you was outside active before you had kids and before you had to work and you had to kind of take off your hip hop robe to make a living.
Right.
Right. Which is what we're talking. Like, this is a new era of that. But at the same time, we've been talking about the lack of substance in hip hop for years.
Thank you.
And this is the first time that kids who are young
get to hear it.
Unpack lyrics.
Yes.
And talk about lyrics and wordplay and all of these different things and use it as the criteria for what's dope or what's not. We haven't had that in the last 10, 15 years.
That's what I'm talking about. All this questioning Kendrick doing blackness and shit and questioning. So the fuck what? It's fucking rap. It's fucking hip hop. You don't like it? Go get the fucking Citizen app and go fucking report to somebody fucking jaywalking. Get the fuck out of here. It's fucking rap.
Yeah,
it's fucking hip hop.
It's really
what the fuck
wild.
are we talking about?
You know what I'm saying? It's wild, but it's even just to ignore the intergenerational aspect of this culture. It's like not everything can go back to 94, bro. And just for a point of fact, not everything in that golden era was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's another
watch
thing.
Videos all the time. There was a lot of whack shit that was out
Wack
there
shit
back in the 90s.
Nigga. Here's what I gotta say, right? Yo. Everybody want to talk about black. No, Kendrick is wrong for questioning Drake's blackness. Let me give you a history fact, okay? In hip hop, how about when Heavy D fucking played Vanilla Ice at a national television award show when he said, no, I don't think so. Nobody said shit about that. Right. And this is Heavy motherfucking D.
Exactly.
From fucking Mountie making fucking Mount Vernon.
Yep.
Nobody said shit about Heavy D. Still made hits, still made singles, still went.
Fat Boy who was dancing. And killing it. And he made beats.
What are we talking about?
He made beats.
Don't
right?
give
so
me,
like,
yo, people were getting on my nerves with that shit.
Yeah.
That's that convoluted emo fuckery that's been fucking up hip hop.
It really is. You just got to recognize like the landscape that we're in requires more, and our attention spans are so short that we got to do. Like, you have to play into some of these antics at some point or another. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't personally like the trolling and the fuckery and all of this and this, but I recognize it's a necessity in order to retain the attention of the people. And if it's going to lead towards people actually listening to lyrics as opposed to fucking bops. Right? As opposed to fucking, it just sounds nice, or it's a mumble, or it's a melody, or no, we're talking about lyrics, we're talking about bars, and including all the other antics. And
this is what I'm talking about.
As long as the rapping is at the forefront of what we're talking about, then let's have the conversation. But now, when this dies down, let's keep that energy about lyrics, right? Let's start questioning other people's pens and worrying about lyrics as opposed to, it's number one on whatever charts or whatever the case is, and you want to talk about streaming numbers and these whack-ass metrics that don't account for cultural impact and what we all love doing.
My brother. God, thank you.
When we was rapping on the corner and we was arguing with people in barbershops, it wasn't about first week sales. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came up in the blog era, and I would used to tell my homeboy, shout out my man Steph Reed, because we used to have arguments. I say, it is done when rap blogs are starting to pronounce or announce first week numbers, because that then becomes the criteria. And I said this 20 years ago, right? It becomes about the branding. It becomes about the spectacle. Like, back in the days, we used to love seeing rappers on the come up, hearing the dude on the mixtapes or whatever, wherever you were exposed to them, and then watching them grow into being what they were because they got signed. They made a little bit of money. They got a little bit fresher. They got the bad bitches. We saw that journey and we loved it. Now, any new artist looks like they've been popping for years. And I'm like, I don't know this dude. Now they got the chains off the rip. They got the Phantom off the rip. You didn't earn anything that you you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't give you credentials off a viral moment, my nigga. I gotta see what you've been able to do lyrically and musically and artistically before I can even give you a pass for anything.
This is why I made my fucking list. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so it's
man.
Like as much as there's a lot of factors, it really comes down to foundationally, what do we represent and what do we enjoy and appreciate as the culture, and how does that reconcile with what the music industry has been trying to push on us for the last 40 some odd years, right? Like, yes, it's Kendrick and Drake now, and this is the argument, but we've been having this rap culture or rap industry versus hip hop culture argument since 1979.
Right.
Since fucking Sugar Hill Gang.
Right.
Because those dudes wasn't part of the immediate community and they were stealing lyrics from Cold Crush and all of that. That's 1979 we having this argument about rappers who were like pretty boys and then the grungy, like, and then it became underground culture, which is really just hip hop, like foundational hip hop culture. But then you put it as underground, right? Genius. I called out Genius not too long ago because they were like, they gave a list of all these quote unquote conscious rappers. And what I took exception to was hip hop is foundationally conscious.
Right.
Our entire culture is conscious. So to even make a list that puts it somehow on the fringe of the culture is wrong, because the fringe of the culture was all this happy-go-lucky turn-up bullshit. That was the fringe.
Right.
But now it's main stage, right? And then what happens is you get the younger generation saying, oh, well, we don't do hip-hop shit.
Right.
We're doing our own thing. This is our own thing. Which is literally the most hip-hop shit you could say.
And making these idiot fucking rules.
Right.
That's why I'll say this. I'll keep a transparency. So there's a podcast I produce.
Yeah.
So think free. I'm not gonna say of the
You a
people.
busy man. You got your own shit and then you produce other podcasts?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, son.
Thing.
You know what I'm saying? So we had a heavy chat discussion. And I got heated. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got tight.
I mean, these are important conversations.
No, but the hip hop in me was really getting tight.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, my man, we're not doing this today. Okay, we're not fucking doing this today. You know, I love you, brother. Trust me, I love you. Who I was arguing. I'm not gonna say names, but you know who? If it's Think Free, you know who probably was. I was having a heavy debate with.
Right.
Love you like a fat kid love cake, my man. But yo, this was equivalent to Snaps and Dozens. And trust me, I was a huge figure out in Design High. 94,
cracking on people,
94 to 98. And anybody after 98, you knew what it was with Reemo Meerak, aka Kareem Warner Tyson. You knew what it was. Me, a couple other people. Shit, I had my man. Shout out to my man Bryant. He was darker than me. He made me look light skinned. This nigga was cutting on me doing black jokes. Did I go, right. Principal? I don't like the black jokes. He's black. I don't like. No, I went for the jugular. Pause.
Right.
I was trying to cook this nigga. We made concerts in the lunchroom.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
Exactly.
That's fucking hip hop. Damn it.
There's the competitive nature of our culture is always going to be there. Steel sharpens steel. And it really becomes a matter of skill set and ability and prowess and all of these things. And then you slide in the personal stuff. You uncover things. And I mean, look at Smack DVD or any of the battle, you know what I'm saying? Any of the battle things. They was doing research. They was finding things. They was calling people out. They was using props, right? They had your baby mom sucking somebody off and they had the picture of it. They brought it to the battle. And they made bars about it. And you had to respond or retort, or you had to do so those antics are already in our culture to one degree or another. So for the older heads who aren't familiar with that dynamic to criticize.
Or the ones, not to cut you off, all the ones that, which I call the fucking bodega rappers. Like you didn't fucking go past the bodega and you coming through with this chopped cheese energy.
Right.
Like, get the fuck up out of here. No, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this shit, bro.
For real.
Don't fucking come to me because I didn't rap or whatever. Oh, well, nah, you don't understand bars like that. Nigga, what the fuck? I keep telling you who my fucking neighbor was.
Yeah.
How else I didn't understand bars?
Like, what's the criteria for
I understand
your
bars.
IQ? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless there's like a universally accepted criteria on judging somebody's hip hop IQ, just because they don't like the same artist that you like or they don't like the particular approach doesn't make that hip hop card go away.
That's what I'm saying. All right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously.
All right, we're gonna take a break because we. I gotta take the glasses.
Yeah,
off,
you got.
That was amazing. Once again, man.
Yeah,
so like I said, we're gonna take a break. We want to show you his music video. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be right back. You heard? You already know what it is. This is Cuts, baby. Culture, urban technology, and sports.
Yo. There's levels to the level up. All your favorite rappers are sellouts who didn't sell enough. Crusty and musty, I must be here for the freshen up. So step inside the shoes of a ruler, you'll never measure up. I was playing protect your neck on a yellow bus in the ghetto, half a block away from where the metal bust. We was raising hell until the heavens sent for us. City kids caught in between God's love and the devil's lust. I'll turn your pyramid into desert dust. Razor blade balls, I'm spitting until your flesh is cut. Cool kids table, I told you you can't sit with us. Standing like a black Olympian, fella, my fist is up. Niggas is sluts in exchange for fame. Hold a lot of angst and pain. Hustle like young Hov with the anchor chain. They ego inflated like floats in the Macy Day parade. Studio Rufio bars and hooks make you bang a ring. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Pay attention to miss the best part. I'm just trying to make my mark, showing y'all my different faces like AI art. We break bread, bricks, $100 bills, bread, bricks, $100 bills, breaking bread, bricks. $100 bills, write a book full of medicine and generate mills. We break bread, bricks. $100 bills, bread, bricks. $100 bills, breaking bread, bricks. $100 bills, write a book full of medicine and generate mills. Listen. My life is really an opera. Can't pretend to be a poodle when you really a monster. Talking with my hands, man, I'm really a boxer. They eat crabs in a barrel, but I'm really a lobster. I could have been a brilliant doctor, or even a spiritual healer with 1,000,000 chakras. They claim they the realest, but they really imposters. Make your face look like a bowl of chili or pasta. Bang! You got thousandaires pretending to be millionaires, selling you a life that really isn't theirs. Our culture is in disrepair. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't care. Hell is empty cause the devil's here. True lyricist, smoother, thicker than lizard skin. Y'all be dropping albums every month, but who's listening? The shit I spit is a paranormal experience. I'm never writing rhymes, I'm designing science experiments. If the CIA could really see it my way, they be giving out reparations on every Friday. Instead they hit us with the mind games, catching migraines from the gang banging in my brain. Angels and demons, if I say it I mean it. Plotting, praying and scheming just to make it to the evening. They underestimate me, then hate me overachieving. Fuck the police, double dare them to take my freedom. In a world full of lies, the truth is needed. My heart's cold, her pussy warm, my pool is heated. Everything they expected of me, homie, I superseded. The honest truth about yourself will set you free if you believe it. You niggas claim you the best to do it, the proof is needed. All these dudes sound to me just like a loop repeated. I'm super preaching, I'm fit to grow like a weed plant in a cannabis class that Snoop was teaching. I'm too facetious. Me and my team like Nino Brown in the CMB. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, indeed. The most elite MC, lyrics trippy like DMT. I even pay a feature fee to prove you can't compete with me. This industry ain't what it seems to be. I was broke, now everybody want a piece of me. Going crazy like I'm Danger Mouse and CeeLo Green. I am no longer an MC, I am the Elohim. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Pay attention to miss the best part. I'm just trying to make my mark, showing y'all my different faces like AI art. We break bread, bricks, $100 bills, bread, bricks, $100 bills, breaking bread, bricks, $100 bills, write a book full of medicine and generate mills. We break bread, bricks, $100 bills, bread, bricks, $100 bills, breaking bread, bricks, $100 bills, write a book full of medicine and generate mills.
Yeah, we're back, man. Yo, nonetheless, he had that hot music video. I told y'all, man, I got you, my creators. We do things, everything here on Cuts, man. All right, man. What say you, right? Sports, or you want to talk about streaming service TV shows? What do you want to talk about?
Ooh, streaming service TV. Let's go with the TV shows.
I bet.
Let's go with the TV.
I bet. Yeah. So, as of late,
shout out to New York Knicks though.
Yeah, you already know Knicks tape.
Because I'm a recovering Knicks fan from the 90s.
John
Starks and all of that. We resurrecting that energy.
Listen, I'll keep it a buck here. Look, I'll do Troop Serum right now. I was pissed off at the Spreewell trade. That's why I said, fuck you. You don't want to win. Fuck you. You got rid of my favorite fucking Knick of all time. Go fuck yourself. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
All right, got older. You know, like you said, we're in the 40s club.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Let me come back home, son.
Yeah.
Fuck the ball. I'm definitely not going to the fucking Brooklyn Nets. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Fuck, bow. Fuck out of here, bro. You out of your fucking mind. I'm not going to Brooklyn Nets. So, I came back to the Knicks. Yeah. Last 3 years, I've been loving it.
Yeah.
I've been loving it.
It's a proud moment.
It's good, it's good basketball.
But streaming.
All right, bet. All right, let's get it, because we got a little bit of time left.
Cool.
Let's go with the stream. We won't do the trivia game. It is what it is.
All right.
What's the latest you've been binge watching?
Oh my God! I just saw this movie on Netflix with Sandra Bullock yesterday. I forgot I think it's Uncaged or something like that. It was amazing. So,
okay.
But series.
Yeah. What are you binging?
Fuck. What am I?
What are you binge watching?
What did I just finish binge watching? It was like a murder mystery. I'm trying to remember exactly what the name of it. It was on Netflix. It was about. Mindhunters. Because I saw season 3 is coming back. So Mindhunters, for those who haven't seen it, it is a show about two federal investigators who investigate serial killers and profile serial killers. And in order for them to catch new serial killers, they have to interview old ones. So they're interviewing like Charles Manson. They're interviewing but it's psychological. I love psychological thrillers. I love true crime type shit. There was the one series that came out. It was What Did Jennifer Do? It was about this girl who ended up killing her parents. It was wild.
Oh shit.
I'm true crime. I'm on some true crime psycho shit sometimes. The Gentleman on Netflix is another one. It's adapted off of a Guy Ritchie movie called The Gentleman, the same name, similar premise. It's about a dude who inherits his family's fortune when he shouldn't have, because I think he's adopted or he's the younger child, and then he finds out that his father, who was maintaining their fortune by selling weed, growing weed in the basement of their mansion.
Okay.
And that his father, after dying, owes all these people all types of money. His brother owes all types of, so he gotta run the hustle in order to keep his brother from getting killed, keep the family business going. He dealing with gangsters, he dealing with prostitutes, he dealing with like street people, and this wasn't his so that joint is really it's fire because the dialogue is dope, the visuals are dope, all of that shit is fire. I love dope visuals, I love dope.
Nah, that's all right. So what have I finished? Oh, definitely Reacher season 2 was fucking epic.
Reacher season.
Yeah, Reacher. So it's based over Jack Reacher.
Yeah, okay, dope.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Reacher season 2 was fucking fire. Definitely Kane season 3 was epic.
Okay.
What else did I finish? Netflix. I finished oh shit. Not Virgin. Is it Virgin River? No, I didn't finish Virgin River. I did it, and then unfortunately the relationship stopped, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing Virgin River. You know what I'm saying?
Now there's certain series that you do 2 episodes, and then it's like, it's not doing it. What else did I do? Oh, X-Men '97. Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but everybody's telling me it's fire,
bro. Disney? How dare you?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I don't like the situation that happened though. The situation happened with the executive producer or the writer, because they found some of his shit on social media. They kicked him off the series.
They did the same for the Rick and Morty dude.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah, it's foul.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, yo.
Yeah, but that's how they get you, because they figure out your life. They do a morality clause in your contract.
Yeah, right.
They find some dirt on you, and then they take your IP.
Which is fucking bullshit. Of course. Yeah, well, you ain't doing that shit to fucking cuts. I got a lawyer. I got a great lawyer. My man Justin. Shout out to Justin.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Shit. Yeah, no, definitely that. Right now, I've been, I just finished watching. I want to know if you watched it. So shout out to Wack. Shout out to Sincere on this one of the team. Sincere, I love you, girl. You know what I'm saying? She threw an alley-oop to me. And wanted me to review Tale of the Tape, the documentary about mixtapes. Executive produced by DJ Envy and Kim Osorio.
That's
and Malik Bowie was the director, and the producer. I think Jasmine Lyons, I believe. She was on it. Yo, all right. Yeah, I hope people go see it. It's on Amazon Prime Video. Unfortunately, they make you choose either the buy or rent it, even if you do have Prime, which sucks. It always fucking gets you.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I was impressed based upon whom was on it, and I understood it business wise.
Right.
Because I get it in hip hop. Everybody wants to get their name in the hat, but then it's like, all right, you got to think about the business. The damn shit is getting streamed on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. Big platform,
right? But it's like, if you try to get everybody, kind of like Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel if they would have went that route, that's the only bad I have. I think they should have went that route with it. Mm-hmm. Then you could have gotten enough people of the mixtape culture and DJ cultures. Because technically, all right, I'm about to stir the pot. I mean, yeah, DJ Drama, he did a lot of things in Atlanta and the South, but DJ Drama's from Philly.
Right.
He's a Northerner.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I get what you're saying. You wanted to put the Band-Aid on it because you guys know you guys know you dropped the fucking ball with getting some Southern people in there. But
I mean, it really depends on who's producing it or who's
but like I said, it was DJ Envy, it was Kim Osorio.
Okay, yeah. So they're of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like the higher ups in the direction they want to go. A lot of people are trying to capitalize off the hip hop 50th wave still. You gotta do your research. Like Hip Hop Evolution was really great in terms of a series because it was.
It broke off a region.
It really the regional shit was the shit, the magic. Like that was like because you're watching these origin stories from different cities as opposed to focusing on figures particularly.
For you with that docuseries, who were your top 3 regions?
New York, 100%. West Coast, and then I think it was not Atlanta. Miami or like the deep south, like that was Miami. Fascinating for me. Because you don't recognize like they was doing the same thing. They was just it was a different bop, it was a different culture. You know what I'm saying? What Uncle Luke was doing, like it's a very similar story when you know about Kool Herc and what they was doing in the Bronx, and then you hear about what Uncle Luke was doing. Then you hear about what like certain DJs in certain areas, it was still DJ based, and then they got their homies and they created rap groups and. So just to watch these regions grow into what they ended up becoming or what they are now was really fascinating to watch. But I would love to watch the mixtape thing because
I'll
all the way outside for the mixtape.
I'll send you my review. I'll send you my review and then I'll send you the. I think I put the link in on the article, but I'll double back on it. But man, whoo, man. All right. Last question, and then we know you got to get going. You got to do what you do. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
What do you, in hindsight, or definitely, right now, understanding of what you've been through in your journey, what do you want to tell 9-year-old you about what's happening right now?
Oh, man, you're going to love it. It gets better. Keep trying. Keep working. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of the things, right? Because I honestly believe, like, your personal, your artist growth is very much parallel to your personal growth as a human being.
Right.
And I've been privileged in what I've done thus far in my career to be in rooms with people I've loved and admired who have influenced my, like I've toured with KRS-One. I've toured with Big Daddy Kane.
Yo, he has dropped. Yo, wait, not to cut you off.
I don't like name dropping, but it's like.
have been dropping 50-point triple doubles on this show today.
My entire life I wanted to be in the rooms with these people. So to over the last maybe 2 or 3 years to have accomplished that, just to be in proximity to them, for them to know who I am, right? Like for them to be like, to get those kind of props, it's very healing in one way. It's full circle moments, but then I think it frees up a lot of real estate in my brain to dream bigger. Because you're not thinking about what you were thinking about when you was 15 and if I only get on and I could be with this artist or collab with this person, like that, it's off the bucket list.
Yeah, right.
And when you consistently and are perpetually crossing things off your bucket list, it allows you to dream bigger. It allows you to self-actualize in a way that a lot of us
self-actualize.
Yeah,
yo, I'm using that. That's going on the Reemo Meerak brand merch.
You know what I'm
telling you that.
Exactly. Yeah, self-actualize is a term. I actually just put it in a lecture that I was at Harvard University. They had a hip hop conference.
You my creative. We're in common.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. So a movie I did back in the days.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago during pandemic.
Okay.
It's called Blue Line. And it's about
you produced the movie?
No. I'm in the movie. I'm acting in the movie. Right. It was added on to the Harvard law library.
That's what's up.
Yeah, the movie was added on. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
So
exactly.
So now, all right, hey, Harvard guys.
Harvard, exactly.
We're Harvard guys.
Well, they have the hip hop archive. They have the Nas Hip Hop Fellowship. So they're trying to do certain things, but nonetheless, my point is, I was doing a lecture up there about self-actualization and what we see with artists in our culture having healed from their previous traumas of being in the inner city or whatever their come-up story is, the more they're able to kind of heal, the more they're able to do bigger and better things. And that is part of self-actualizing, is having all of your particular needs met on different levels to the point where you're focused on being the best you that you can be, right? Not responding or reacting to your environment and the constructs that are created out of safety, right? It's just being, so me having all these things that I wanted to do as a kid or being a frustrated, broke artist in my 20s, Now I can look back at myself and be like, yo, there is no time limit on my level of success.
Right.
Right? I can still be rapping and fresh to death in my fucking 40s when you didn't think that was possible when you was younger. Right? Like, so having achieved certain things and just being able to be in proximity with some of the artists that I respect and get that respect back from them has allowed me to just think bigger and just say, I want to do more. I want to be able to go back and teach younger kids. I want to be able to develop artists and bring them up on the way like I do hip hop education work. I have a hip hop nonprofit called Hip Hop for Change. We're based out of Oakland.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we're trying to do a lot of work in New York. We do a lot of work in LA. But like just kind of creating that environment where hip hop can do so much more things than just rap and argue with each other about rap beefs, which is great. It's part of the culture. But now let's take it further. What, you know what I'm saying? What does this beef presently create the conversation about? It creates the conversation about let's take the culture back to us and what it is, what's important for us in order to move forward and not the music industry.
Right.
Right? So like these kind of conversations need to happen. So I'm comparing my personal growth with my artist growth with the growth of the culture at large.
Right.
And I see that we're in an amazing space in terms of like for every generation of rapper, wherever your entry point was, you can still be part of this. You know what I'm saying? If you the old head from in the 50s who knows about, you know, the Cold Crush and all these, you still have your people. You still have the people, they're still touring, they're still active. If you're a little bit younger than that, the artists you love, they're still active. And I can now communicate with my son who's 18. He's about to be 18. I can talk to him about hip hop and have these conversations. We are breeding a new era of our culture that we haven't yet seen yet. That maturity hasn't so it's gonna kind of be awkward for a bit, but nonetheless, I fulfilled a lot of the things that I think my 9-year-old self would be very proud that I did.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Nonetheless, man, we're gonna have this information where to follow him, man. We're changing things up here on Cuts. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have the information at the bottom. It'll be in the description as well. Nonetheless, my brother. My brother, yes, I love that conversation. That was so healthy.
Thank you.
That's what I needed. You know what I'm saying? From vet to vet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely
get that. We got to get it out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what it is.
Some of you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Real shit. Like I said, go get the fucking Citizen app and go fucking report on Dunkin' Donuts for not making your fucking chai latte. I don't give a shit. On that note, we are out of here. This is episode 143 of the Cuts podcast. You know what the Cuts stand for: culture, urban, technology, and sports. You know the slogan I'm doing with, baby. Hands over the eyes.
That's what we do.
It's the two up. Come on, man. We're out of here. That's peace.